we really have an urgency in 2025, just 7 years from now, there will be 5.3 billion of people shortage of water. If I said that the water is good for your health, just $45 per day, are you going to spend it for your whole family? It's an easy question to answer.
Johnny, actually, I want to understand the technology, because it almost sounds fake. It almost sounds like magic, right? It's atmospheric water generation. Can you describe what that is, how it works?
Honestly speaking, the technology, the concept itself is not some sort of magic. We know that there are water and air. When you get enough water, it rains. So basically, it's how to get those water effectively and efficiently. So there's a reason why we got around 100 patents on how to effectively grab those water into drinkable and safe water.
Yeah.
And so we use different technology and different stages. First of all, we put in negative ions to make sure those big particles drop down from the air before we get in the filter, and then use PM 2.5 filter to filter out those small particles.
Yep.
And then using some sort of aerospace technology, when we firing rockets, there's several thousand degrees Celsius. Yep. It takes you several seconds for the rocket to pick up. So before the rocket pick up, you have to cool down the environment very quickly. Otherwise, most of the early stage of rocket firing, they exposed because of the temperature. So we're making use of that concept to frozen the water in from air quickly, instantly, and then get the water, and then after we get the water, we'll filter out using like the normal carbon filter, a lot of filtering, and make sure that we have, in case there are any kinds of polluted air, we still go through the normal process, although it's much cleaner. And finally, we go through several stages of ultraviolet for bacterial killing. So make sure that, and the last ultraviolet is just before the water get out of the tape. And so basically, it's fully safety for us to drink.
Sounds simple. Yeah.
Yes, it sounds very simple, but it's around 100 patents. It's around 100 patents.
100 patents. Okay, so make it make sense for us in terms of our everyday lives.
Yes.
If we had one of these machines that makes purified water out of the air, what would it look like in this building? Where would we put it?
I got one at my home.
Yeah.
Just put it in the living room.
In the living room. So indoors.
Indoors. The size is just that around this table footprint, which is around 3 feet high.
Yeah.
Or 1 meter high, which is like a slightly bigger than a distilled water machine.
Water cooler,
and it generates 30 liters per day.
30 liters purified water per day, indoor air.
Indoor air.
And this works. It's in your house.
It works and excellently in Hong Kong. As I said, the functionality, you got to filter the air before we do the condensation. So basically, all those air getting out from the machine is purified.
So cleaning the air as well.
So clean the air within the living room.
Wow.
And also, the way we tune the condensation is, normally for normal situation, the humidity of the room will keep at 40 to 50% humidity, which is the best for people to live and we feel most comfortable.
Yeah.
And the machine work, we tune it for in-house machine. The machine is able to generate water above 35%.
Wow. Okay.
But not lower, because if we're going lower, then probably we feel don't comfortable.
Yeah.
But so we are intentionally put it a 35%.
Designed for indoor living.
Yeah, for indoor living. But for those water plants, we can tune at a lower humidity.
Okay.
Although in fact, for lower humidity, that means more power will be used.
Possible.
But for those normal cases, like in Hong Kong, it's incredibly using low level, less power, because for each liter of water, it uses around 2 American cents of power, 1 to 2 American cents of power, which is basically is more power saving than a level 1 power saving refrigerator at the medium size.
So this is, you're paying less than $1 a day for 30 liters of water that's being purified and drawn from the air. and it's cleaning your air.
Yes.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I get. So what about places that really need this? I mean, in essence, a lot of the world needs this. We wouldn't argue. You need it here too, but in deserts, on islands, or let's go just to deserts, not islands, where the humidity is much lower, right? How does this work and does it work?
Our product, our technology we believe is the only solution that can generate water in the desert. Okay, desert, there are two kinds of desert. One desert is like the Middle East in the Gulf area. So it's just next to the sea, but it just happened that in the daytime it's so high temperature that 40 degrees Celsius, 40 to 50 degrees Celsius, all water basically vaporized, and the way the land is actually more silicon than other locations. So basically, all the water from the ground and on sea as well vaporized. But if you have been in the Middle East for experience that around 5 p.m. when the temperature goes down, we just behave like being inside the sauna. So basically, it's the humidity is up to like 80 or even 90 something percent. So basically, in Gulf area, those kinds of desert, basically 2/3 of the time is best for very high humidity for water generation, and the remaining 1/3 of the time, which is the daytime, is the best time. They got good sunlight, so it's good for solar and also other renewable energy. And for the real desert, which is like in the Midland Desert, Sahara Desert, and although they do not vaporize as much water as in Gulf area, but it still got a lot of temperature difference. The condensation, still a lot of water can condense at night, although it's not as much as the Gulf area.
But it still works.
Still works.
Yeah, and then you're not just looking at kind of household scale, right? You're also thinking more almost industrial kind of water plant scale. Can you describe how big can this scale?
We got currently the biggest unit of the atmospheric water generate machine. The biggest unit is we can generate 5,000 liters or 5 tons of water per day.
Per day.
The size is just a large container, that one.
That's it?
So that's it. And the container, you can imagine just this, probably this long, the container. So for each module is 5,000 liters. So if a typical small size water plant is talking about 50,000 liters per day. So we just need 10 modules. 10 modules. 10 modules, you can imagine that 10 modules, if you exclude those storage area, for bottling, if you need to have a bottling line, so just the water generation itself is just like can be stored in like 2,000 or 3,000 meters. That's it. And including those lines for bottling, it can be easily put in a very small area. And in fact, if we spread it over large area, it'll be more effective because so that the environment will be getting more fresh air in.
And so how does the machine grab the humidity from the air? Is this like a giant vacuum and it's sucking the air and the humidity? Like how does it work?
No, well it's just good enough airflow. That's it. Like for example, do we need to breathe quite deeply for oxygen? No, we just breathe it. For those machines, compared to the whole atmosphere, it's just peanuts. Just like millions of people breathing on one location, will it be affecting our breathing effort? No.
And so you have 100 patents. You've shown that you can do this at scale. It's also in your house, and it works. What's it going to take to actually help this hit the market in a big way? Why don't we all have one of these?
The issue will be, this is one of the challenge, especially we really have an urgency for having a large implementation because from the UN projection in 2025, just 7 years from now, there will be 5.2 or 5.3 billion of people shortage of water, and 1.8 billion of people is seriously shortage of water. And that 1.8 billion people, if there's some climate change or whatever, they're going to sadly they're subject to die. So we need to have move as quickly as possible so that we generate enough machines for those people. And what we are doing is what we plan for our business plan is make sure that we get listed in 2-3 years, and then we work with those giants on manufacturing, like a refrigerator or air conditioner. They got productivity of more than tens of billions of machines every year. Yeah. Then we make use of the productivity to generate as much machine for the majority of a lot of people as possible.
What do you think? It sounds like, I imagine if a couple of years ago you went out and you told people we're going to create purified water from air in a way that costs less than a cent a liter. It could be on everybody's home in the world. We could do it at an industrial scale anywhere on the planet. Most people would have said, yeah, right.
Yeah.
How did you work through the skepticism? And what gave you and the team, the confidence that this could actually work?
Well, work. You mean financially work?
Financially work and just work in the real world.
Honestly speaking, it's a very profitable business in terms of business side because basically not much power required, and building the machine. Well, we get some money to build a machine. Although we have some upfront research that we have spent some money, but the way we're charging, for example, we're charging around $4 to $5 per day for the machine listing. So this is just less than 1 cup of Starbucks. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say the branding.
That works, yeah, that works.
Less than 1 cup of coffee, and it is not expensive. And I believe most of the medium level people get affordable to them. Yeah. And what we plan is we can actually selling high quality, full function machine to those well level people, and then we can produce lower level, which is more simple one with lower manufacturing cost machine to those public. So basically, we can earn a lot from the business side, and we can contribute as some sort of special kinds of contribution to the society. Yeah. And I don't think it doesn't work because everybody, if I said that the water is good for your health, just $4 to $5 per day, are you going to spend it for your whole family? Yeah. It's an easy question to answer.
Yeah. Johnny, we have to close up this session, but we've spent a lot of time at Unreasonable looking at solutions that are trying to solve the water crisis, and I think yours is one of the most ingenious and compelling ones we've come across. So thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you.